welcome back, and today we are doing a Ruben Amorim tactic, and it's the updated version for what he's basically been running at Man United. And obviously you've seen there's some great success. It really hurts. But if I'm honest with you, I actually like Amorim's ideas of football. The United team needs to improve, and the same applies to this tactic. But let me show you some of the results. So first things first, here you see only 1 loss, 10 draws. Nothing crazy with the goal difference. It's actually a pretty just solid tactic. You need to build the team to get the most attacking out of this team. The only thing you will get from this team is a lot of solidarity. So in terms of going forward, nothing crazy with the shots, nothing blowing your mind in terms of goals per game. It's actually quite low. But what you get is 0.37 goals conceded, 28 clean sheets. You get a lot of this defensively. That is the key to this. You need to make sure you lock it down at the back. And it's actually not necessarily just a defensive tactic. I just don't think the team is good enough going forward on FM. You need to build it, grow it, and actually nourish a team. Take care, love them. Competition wise, as you've seen with the league already, if I show you the full actual league as well, literally 67 goals. It's nothing wild, but only conceding 14 all season. That is where you get your results from. And seeing out a lot. Obviously 1-0 in the final of the Europa League as well. Did lose in both cups. As I told you, I'm not here to lie to you. I'm not here to tell you this tactic. You just use this magical Ruben Amorim tactic and you're gonna instantly win like 9-0 every game. No, this isn't a plug and play. It obviously I plugged and played and got some results, but I had to manage quite a lot of the big games to kind of get through. This isn't one I had to just purely sim. And when you see some of the results on here as well, you get some really good stretches. Good start to the season. Losses obviously in cups and stuff that come quite early, but besides that, in the league you get a lot of good stretches. I think this is actually my first loss in the league, coming at the end of December against Brighton away. So you kind of get, that's the only loss you've had in the league. One against Brighton, which are my bogey team on FM, always have been. But the actual run of form you get is pretty solid. Some great results are out. And yeah, ending the season very strong. No serious mid-season slump. This is arguably where it happens, a couple more draws and stuff, but it's pretty consistent the whole way through. You don't actually worry a lot about it. In terms of the actual tactic itself, I'm not going to do the video where we drag it out. I'm going to get straight into it as well. This is the tactic. Now, as you see squad-wise, nothing crazy, nothing wild, but everything has a purpose in this system. So the way he has his sweeper keeper. He wants his keeper to step in a lot there as well. This is a mix of the ideas, what works with FM, and also where his end goal kind of is, but also what he's been doing all the time with United. A lot of focus was on this right-hand side and actually on the left. So naturally, Amorim plays narrow here, slightly deeper here, or both up here, but both these two should be narrow. And you probably go the more attacking mids, but with his system having to do now and how the United team falls, he hasn't been able to do that. So we have our back line. Both these two here are the progressors in the ball. This is more your guy who's solid. Still needs to be good on the ball, but he's like your core of the defense. And these lot are going to get isolated into these areas, play on the ball. Now, Agate, he is your ball winner. You could have him as a ball winner. I liked him on just defensive midfielder, to be honest, but you can kind of mix the two because he does kind of get more involved in attack still. Segundo Volante for Mainu, and even Bruno when he plays in his role, he's going to constantly drift, kind of join in, fill this kind of gap here, and at times, obviously, you got the forward here, inside forward, he's going to drift in, and he's going to fill this gap for us here, and Bruno's going to play make. I toy between pressing forward and advance forward. If I'm playing against a smaller team, I definitely do go with an advance forward. And on this side, I do have it as this. If you don't really have a right mid, you can drop him back here and just simply change him over to a complete on attack, and I think you get similar results. I just like to have the wide mid here, have him on a winger, and then let him just kind of roam this area here. And being on support, he'll still cover, but that's why you've got your defensive midfielder right next to him who's going to be more disciplined. You don't really need to have him on defend, so don't worry about that too much. And on this side, you want a wing back, but obviously he's going to be here for somewhat of the time. He's just then going to follow through for natural overlaps there as well. And that is pretty much everything you need to know in terms of why I've picked them roles. I have it on positive. Obviously, if you're playing smaller teams and chasing games, do change to attacking. In possession, this is how we play. Wide, wanted to stretch the pitch. He does use his width a lot, whether people want to accept it or not. It's designed to have little plays and then get wide into these areas and then hopefully flood the box. Not that we do that all the time in real life, but wide, pass into space. That can kind of toy between on and off depending whether you think it's necessary for the speed you have in your team. I've got a few plays that are quite direct, so I don't mind having that because it gets them in positions. Play out defense, shorter passing with a higher tempo. It said but we need to move it at speed. Low crosses, and I have run at defense. That's what I ran with. Transition wise, got counter press. Didn't worry about too much of this because I actually don't mind a mix of either at times. And then also roll it out to the centre backs. You can obviously have take short kicks and change it a little bit if you really want, but I like to have it roll it out because I want to start playing up instantly. Out of possession, this is what we have: a much higher line. Very thingy. Obviously, he probably naturally plays a mix of higher and standard at times, but he does try to play the higher line. He just doesn't really always have the team or the control to be able to do it, but that's how he wants to really set out, and we want to press high, full press. We got to go for it, hunt impacts, and obviously make sure we do that. And I do have get stuck in. If you are getting a few yellows, just take that off as you know, as normal. But because we have a much higher line, that is why he is not needed to be on defend. You don't need that. He's naturally going to do his job as defense because the line is higher, so he's already sat in the pocket because he's pushing up the pitch. That's just for the people that doubted that last time. But that is a nice, easy, simple Ruben Amorim tactic. Go use it and enjoy it. I'd love to see how you get on with it. Obviously, I'll whack it all up on Sort It Out SI so you can download the tactic, and I'll probably upload it to Steam for you that like to get it from there. But please, when you go to Sort It Out SI, make sure you're firing the comments on there. Let people know how you got on with it. Fire the comments on here. Like, subscribe, enjoy the tactic, have fun with it. That's it for me today. I'll see you in the next one.